recap on some of the prelims. As we saw there in the background, Shamil Gaziev just knocked out Stephen Peterson. He was looking for the right hand. When he finally found it, my God, dropped him down, and that was it. Before that, we had Terence McKinney. Terence McKinney went out there, did what Terence McKinney does. Went up against Damir Hadjovic, took him out once again in the first round. Terence McKinney might just be the most exciting fighter on all of the roster, and I know that sounds crazy, but he knocks everyone out in the first round, or he gets finished in the first round. So Terence McKinney, he's always exciting, he's always value for money, and well done to him. Before that, Jasmine Jasdavicius went up against Mara Bueno Silva. Chitara looked like she didn't want to be there. She was getting her ass kicked from start to finish in between rounds. She looked like she was going to start crying. In the third, she ate a nasty knee to the face. She was kind of getting out grappled. Jasdavicius did a fantastic job and won a decision. And then before that, Bogdan Grad, fighting out of Austria, made his UFC debut, got a stoppage in the second round. Beautiful work with the ground and pound. And starting off the night, Hamdi Abdelwahab robbed Jamal Pogues of the victory, okay? Jamal Pogues won. He went out there, he beat him on the feet. Simple as that. I'm sorry. How one judge gave it 30-27 is absolutely beyond me, okay? It was
number one bullshit.
It was a robbery, but fair play. Hey, listen, in the win column, it's a win. He'll get his win bonus, fair play. That was the first fight of the night. We're still on the prelims. I hope the judging is going to get better, because that one was utter nonsense. All right, so Pavlovich versus Rozenstruik underway. I've said all week this one isn't going to go past the first round. It's a tailor-made matchup for both men. So let's see if they make a dickhead out of me.
5 minutes later.
As I was saying before, that's the end of round one there. The crowd doesn't like it. Listen to that. As I say, this fight here, they were expecting a bit more action. Now, Vinicius Oliveira versus Said Nurmagomedov, wild fight from start to finish. Both men went out there, you know, they fought really hard. A lot of wild kicks from both men, flying knees from Said Nurmagomedov, almost knocked out Oliveira, which would have been kind of ironic, because Oliveira knocked out Bernardo Sopai with this wild running flying knee, and Nurmagomedov almost landed the exact same shot on Oliveira. Wild stuff back and forth, a lot of kicks. Nurmagomedov started off looking really quick and slick, but as the fight progressed, I think someone's just walked in the building. Someone's just walked in the building. We're getting a big reaction. What's going on? What's going on? No idea what all that was about. As I was saying, Oliveira won by decision, essentially because Nurmagomedov got tired. He was absolutely exhausted. He was, you know, he was winging his punches. He was very laboured. He was just kind of sloppy. You know, going for takedowns in wrestling does take its toll on people, but you got to prepare. If that's the way you're going to fight, then you got to get ready to be able to do that 15 or 25 minutes. So Nurmagomedov just with the lack of preparation there. Now, granted, Vinicius Oliveira was also tired. He was sitting on the floor in between rounds. But he definitely deserved to win, landed some really good shots, almost finished him on a couple of occasions, forced Nurmagomedov to wrestle a lot more than what he usually does. So anyway, Vinicius Oliveira got the job done there. Right now, as I said, we are watching Pavlovich versus Rozenstruik. Round one, very tentative. We're now in round two, 3 minutes 40 on the clock, and no one's landed a shot in round two here. Sergei Pavlovich probably knows he's got this one in the bag. There's the buzzer. There's the last 10 seconds. The crowd's cheering up. Jairzinho swings, eats a jab. Sergei Pavlovich swings a wild right hand, just misses, and that is it. That's all she wrote. The fight is over. The fight that I guaranteed would not get out the first round goes to a rather lackluster decision. Listen, it was a good win for Sergei Pavlovich in terms of getting a win, okay? But it's not the win that he wanted. It's not the win that these people expected to see. And it's not a win that's going to reinsert him into the title fight discussion. He'll probably need another one or two after that. Obviously, Tom Aspinall is going to fight John Jones at some point, so no one's fighting for a belt anytime soon. Sergei, to be honest, he's going to have time because he's going to continue fighting. But the next fight that he has, now that he's got back to winning ways, now that he's, you know, exercised the demons of the losses, so to speak, he's got to go back to the old Sergei Pavlovich. Jairzinho, I'm a big fan of the guy. He's such a sweetheart. I was talking to him at breakfast. He's always got a nice big smile on his face. But tonight was not his night, clearly. Just a little too much inactivity from both men, if we're honest. Not the usual song and dance, not the usual showmanship from Israel Adesanya. Typically we know he comes out, he does the break dancing and all that kind of thing. You know, a lot of pomp and circumstance, a lot of showmanship, a lot of silliness at times. Cocking his leg as he walks in the cage. He didn't do that. He's down on one knee, he's saying a little prayer, he's just done a bow, he's kissed the octagon and he's in the cage ready to go. The crowd are ready for this main event. Nassourdine Imavov, he's not a man to take lightly. He could play the role of upset here. All right, so round one, Israel Adesanya went out there looking really good, fast and powerful. More of an aggressive start than we usually see from him, using a lot of low kicks, variety of kicks up the middle, low, high, question mark kicks, you name it. Nassourdine Imavov was going in, throwing shots, trying to get the takedown. Did manage to get the body lock on a couple of occasions, but wasn't able to get him down. Now, the biggest shot of round one actually belonged to Nassourdine Imavov. Towards the end of the round, a right uppercut cracks Israel Adesanya, kind of stumbles him a little bit, but Izzy bites down on the mouthpiece, throws back a couple of shots and then continue to defend takedowns. Knocks out Israel Adesanya early in round two. Holy shit! Israel Adesanya has now lost 4 of his last 5. He looked incredible. He looked fast. He looked sharp. He did some damage. He looked in control. He stopped the takedowns. He landed a takedown of his own. He looked like he was still improving. He said all the right things this week, but none of that matters, because Nassourdine Imavov just went out there and beat him by technical knockout in round 2. I'm watching the replay now. Imavov feints a jab over the top, crushing right hook, overhand right actually, over the top, stumbles Izzy, Izzy goes down, whack, overhand right, right on the chin. Izzy falls into the fence, falls down to the ground. Imavov follows him, just one shot after the other, after the other. Magomedov's taking a look and just continued to rain down blows until he had to call off the fight. Wow, massive, massive upset here. Is this the end of Israel Adesanya? All right, so we just finished, the fights are done. We're just wrapping up here on the ESPN set. There's Alan Joe Band, Dan Helly, Rubber Dub Dub production crew. Well, thank you, Alan. Well, I achieved a long time ago. Can you believe this? The reign of Israel Adesanya, it's over, it's done. And I say that with the greatest of respect. Israel Adesanya is an absolute legend of this sport. He will be in the Hall of Fame. And he may go on to fight again. But I don't think he'll ever fight for a middleweight championship or a belt of any kind. And as I say, I don't say that with a smile on my face. What he's given the sport is incredible. But I always say this sport is a motherfucker, okay? You scratch and claw, you work your way to the top. You know, you deal with a lot of bullshit. You work your goddamn ass off. You go through injuries. You put relationships to one side. You got to be selfish. You got to work your fucking ass off. And you get there. Some people it's harder than others. Some people it's easy. But when you get there, it's great. You're the champion of the world. And Israel Adesanya's done that. He's become a legend. He defended the belt more times than anybody else without the name Anderson Silva. That in itself is incredible, okay? But guess what this sport does? It picks you up, it uses you up, it chews you up, and then it spits you out. Okay, now that sounds harsh, but that's what it does. And that's what it's done to Israel Adesanya. He looked really good tonight. First round he went out super aggressive, landed some good shots. Kicking was great, it was fantastic, but it's not how you start, it's how you end. And it ended with him getting knocked out of Nassourdine Imavov. Imavov looked good, he was trying to get takedowns. Izzy stopped them all. Izzy hit a lateral drop. He was trying to hit a couple of little foot sweeps as well. He was pimping him, he was styling on him. But at the end of round 1, boom, big, beautiful uppercut. Imavov lands a big uppercut. Oh, sorry, you guys are behind me. Hello, sir, how are you? How are we doing?
Shit.
You gotta be on a YouTube
this guy
video.
from UK.
Yes, this guy from UK.
Come fight me, I will knock you out.
Oh, I don't, oh!
Let's have the sound.
You wanna go?
Yeah, let's go. No, I will change your eye. The next one.
I will knock you the Calm, bro.
You will never knock me.
Don't be disrespectful.
No, I love you, man.
I love you too. Yeah, I gotta be careful. I'm almost done. I'm getting on a plane out of Saudi soon, but I can't get into a fucking scrap, get into a brawl at the arena. Nah, he's joking, and I was joking. I love these guys. Saudi has got great people. Anyway, where was I? Where was I, Dan?
Talking about Imavov.
Imavov landed that right hook, uppercut, sorry, and then Izzy just fucking bites down on the mouthpiece. He's like, oh, you saw him get mean and fire back. And it was like, oh shit, here we go. Hold on, a little bit of footage. The arena is getting dismantled, as you can see. Bit down on his mouthpiece, and I thought round 2 was going to be good. As we saw, round 2 didn't last very long. Beautiful overhand right on the jaw, right on the button. Cracks him, sorry mate. Cracks him right on the jaw, drops Izzy. And then a crushing left hook. The follow-up left hook was amazing. And then he gets on top, a few more shots, and then that was it. The end of the fight. And probably the end of an era, and maybe the end of a career. And again, we have to appreciate Israel Adesanya. You know, there has been other great kickboxers on the planet. Of course there has. We've had amazing strikers in this sport. Which way? Dan! Alan! This way? Mother. All right, co-main event, Shara Bullet versus MVP. Wow. Listen, Shara Bullet, 15-0, unbelievable striker, a great human being, and of course my one-eyed brother. I've got a lot of respect for this guy, but I've got to call it like I see it. MVP was by far the better man tonight. He was the better striker. He was in control. He was dominant. He was owning the octagon. More importantly, he was frustrating Shara Bullet. Shara is a really good striker. He's very aggressive. He's got really fast kicks. But he's kind of conventional. And that is why MVP probably called him out, because he's seen that style 1,000 times. MVP with the traditional sport karate background, with the hands low, with the precision striking, with the one-shot kind of power. I'll just turn this light out here. I just got back to my room, by the way. I got to pack up. I got to get to the airport. I'm flying to Dubai and then straight to Sydney. Anyway, I had to talk about the co-main event. The video that I did at the arena failed. So I'm going to redo it. As I say, MVP's seen that style many, many times. But Shara Bullet hasn't seen that style. And not many people who even have that style can deliver it and execute it with the precision that Michael Venom Page can. Now what happened was, as we know, MVP shoots him from a distance, lands some shots, and then gets out of there. He has the hands down, and he's not overly aggressive. He picks his shots. This time he was being a little more aggressive from the get-go. He was leaping in. He wasn't using the footwork to step in. He was leaping in, off the ground, becoming airborne, landing a 1-2, landing the bigger shots, picking them apart. And that was essentially the story of the fight. In the third round, I think at one point it said that MVP had landed something like 15 headshots, vicious headshots, and Shara Bullet had landed 0. He landed a few kicks and stuff like that, and I think right near the end of the round, he might have landed 1 or 2 good ones. However, MVP was in control the entire time. Shara Bullet, the longer the fight was going, he was getting more and more frustrated. And that's what happens. When you get frustrated, you get mad, you get angry, you start to make mistakes. When you get mad and angry, even in life, you're never the best version of yourself. That's why you got to be cool, calm, calculated, composed, like the great Anderson Silva. And you can see that kind of mentality from Michael Venom Page. So a tremendous performance. MVP, of course, signed with the UFC, known as a knockout artist. Still hasn't got the finish that he wants in the UFC. Still hasn't got that signature knockout. But he got a good win over Kevin Holland. He lost a close fight to Ian Machado-Gary and then goes out and beats the undefeated Shara Bullet. Okay, a tremendous performance and something to be very proud of. And that was upper weight class at 185 pounds. So what do I think does he do next? Well, Shara Bullet, of course, we're still going to see him fight, and I think he's got a great future in the sport. MVP's just that guy. Trust me. Ian Machado-Gary, you've got to put some respect on his name because he was able to beat him because he took him down. Shara ain't taking anybody down, okay? It's just not his game, and it's not the way he plays. MVP, I'd like to see him stay at 185. But he told us at the post-fight show he wants to go back down to 170. He wants that belt. He feels he's still got work to do. And I question that because There's a lot of wrestlers at 170 pounds. Of course, you got Bilal Muhammad. You've got Shavkat Rakhmonov that you think definitely would wrestle MVP if he was to fight him. There's Kamaru Usman, and I'm sure there's many, many others. I can't think of them right now. When you look at the middleweight division, yeah, okay, Dricus du Plessis, that'd be a problem. But there's a lot of fun fights. You got people like Jared Cannonier, might wrestle, would probably strike. You've got Sean Strickland, okay? He probably wouldn't wrestle even though he could. So I think there's some tremendous fights for MVP at 185 pounds. And of course, at 170, there's still a lot of good, great work to do there. I want to say well done to Michael Venom Page. He's an incredible guy. He really is. He's an absolute class act, as is Shara Bullet. And I'll tell you what, here's how you know MVP's a good dude. He's in Saudi Arabia. He's fighting Shara Bullet that's kind of got the hometown advantage, if you will, even though he's not from here. And MVP had the crowd in Saudi Arabia chanting MVP. That's because they know he's a good guy. They know he puts on good fights. They loved the entertainment that he was giving them. And he was thrilling the audiences. I mean, what more do you want? Congrats, MVP. Congrats, London Shoot Fighters as well. That's where he trains. Here's me looking outside here, Saudi Arabia. The bags are packed. I've got my plane ticket. All you got to do is get on that plane. Are you too good? Are you too good for your home? Why don't you just go home?
Son of a bitch, Paul. Why didn't you just go home?
What move is that? Anyway, enough of that bullshit. I'm going. Next fight. Look at Alan Joban. Get your top off again, Alan. Look at it. Come on, give him a flex, Alan. Let's go. Come on, buddy. Come on. Oh, get the...
You guys are...
Oh! He's always got his shirt off. I've still got a six-pack, mind you. He doesn't. I'm not talking shit, Dan. Hellcat Dan Helly is coming for me. Listen, Israel Adesanya had an incredible career, and we've all got to respect that. He was unique, he was authentic, he was an incredible striker. We've seen lots of great kickboxers. We've seen people with dazzling striking ability. Like Shara Bullet, he fought tonight and lost to MVP, another incredible, dazzling striker. But he was unique, he was an original, he always put on a show, and we have to appreciate him. Anyway, I've got to get out of Saudi Arabia. I almost just got into one fight. I've got to get out of here while I still can, okay? So I'm going to wrap this one up here. Saudi Arabia's been awesome. The hospitality's been fantastic. The food has been great. The weather was very, very cold. The walks, not too great. A lot of freeways and a lot of building work. But nice people, beautiful hotel, great night of fights. I'm going to go through the rest of them another time because when Alan hurries up, we can leave and I can get on my plane. I will see you in Sydney.